Right friends, welcome back to Questions and Answers Advanced. We are going to discuss some questions. 5th Heart of Asia Ministerial Conference was jointly hosted by Pakistan and Afghanistan. This was held in Islamabad. Our External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj attended, and this is known as Istanbul process, basically to ensure peace in Afghanistan. And not only that, so as to ensure regional stability. If someone asks what is the meaning of Heart of Asia Conference is part of Istanbul process. For the first time it was formulated in 2011, basically to aim at peaceful and stable Afghanistan. Not only stable Afghanistan, but also with a view to have stability in the region. This was formulated, and in the year 2011 it was formulated, and it has 14 members now, including India and China. Right friends, look at the next one. There is a wide divergence between wholesale price index and CPI in recent times. If you look at November 2015, consumer price index was 5.41%, wholesale price index was minus 1.99%, and there is a divergence of around 7.5%. What is the reason? I would like to tell you 2-3 things. One is the base year taken for wholesale price index is 2004-5. The base year is 10-year-old. The base year for wholesale price index is 2004-5, and whereas the base year for consumer price index is 2012, most recent one. The second one is the weightage of manufactured products in wholesale price index is 55%. Because of the slump in commodity prices in recent times across the world, this wholesale price index is showing negative territory or is into the negative territory. Not only the slump of manufactured products, and probably the high base in previous year may be another reason. And if you look at consumer price index, it tracks basically inflation of food and beverages, which constitute 46% weightage. Because of this, consumer price index reflects inflation at consumer level, and more realistic, wholesale price index tracks the prices of manufactured products at wholesale level. And because of this, wholesale price index is into negative territory and consumer price index is around 5%. And last point is, wholesale price index is released by Office of the Economic Advisor, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Consumer price index is released by Central Statistics Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Look at the next one. RBI issued instructions to calculate base rate by banks based on marginal cost of funds based lending rate. And at present, banks are calculating base rate, and in future from April 1, 2016 onwards, this marginal cost of funds based lending rate will replace base rate, and this marginal cost of funds based lending rate, or you can say MCLR, will be calculated for different maturities, 1 month, 3 months, 12 months, like that, and base rate will be replaced by this MCLR from 1st April 2016 based on RBI's instructions. Why RBI switched over to this MCLR from base rate is, when the Reserve Bank of India reduced repo rate by 125 basis points or 1.25% in the year 2015, but correspondingly banks have not reduced base rate. When the Reserve Bank of India reduced 125 basis points in repo rate during 2015, banks reduced only 50 to 60 basis points, not 125 basis points. The contention of Reserve Bank of India governor is, when I am reducing repo rate, you are not reflecting and you are not passing it on to the customer. When Reserve Bank of India is reducing repo rate, that is not being passed on to the consumer. Keeping that in view, they have brought different mechanism for calculating interest rates by the banks. That different mechanism is given a marginal cost of funds based lending rate, which will replace base rate from 1st April 2016. And existing borrowers will have option to move to MCLR, and banks will publish MCLRs of different maturities every month at the pre-announced date. Right friends, this is about MCLR. If someone asks MCLR, please don't forget it is marginal cost of funds based lending rate. Who regulates non-banking, non-financial companies? All of you are familiar with banks. Please look into this slide. State Bank of India, ICICI, Bank of Baroda. This is a banking system, and banks are regulated by Reserve Bank of India. Non-banking financial companies have got different regulators. If it is housing finance company, it is regulated by NHB. If it is insurance company, it is regulated by IRDAI. Like that, there are several regulators for NBFCs, but please remember, for non-banking, non-financial companies. If you want example, please look into this. Reliance Industries is example of non-banking, non-financial company. L&T is example. Tata Motors is example of non-banking, non-financial company. So, the regulator for non-banking, non-financial companies is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The regulator for banks is Reserve Bank of India. The regulator for NBFCs, there are several regulators like RBI, IRDAI, SEBI, PFRDA like that. But the regulator for non-banking, non-financial companies like Reliance Industries, L&T, Tata Motors, the regulator is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Supreme Court for the first time appointed the Lokayukta by using extraordinary powers under Article 142. Supreme Court can use its extraordinary power. There are views and counter views with regard to the usage of power under Article 142, but Article 142 can be interpreted as unlimited power by the Supreme Court, and accordingly with a view to ensure complete justice. Because if something is pending, state is not able to decide, under those circumstances Supreme Court can come into picture and they can appoint or they can take decision with a view to ensure complete justice. And that power is given in Article 142 of the Constitution, and recently by using Article 142 power, the Supreme Court of India appointed Justice Virendra Singh as the Lokayukta of Uttar Pradesh. The committee of Chief Minister, the leader of the opposition and the Chief Justice of State High Court has to take decision, but they could not come to the conclusion. Under these circumstances, Supreme Court of India used its extraordinary powers under 142 to appoint Justice Virendra Singh as the Lokayukta, but subsequently because of the objections from Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Supreme Court kept its orders pending. NHRC is a National Human Rights Commission which was established in the year 1993. It is statutory body. It will come into picture when human rights are violated. And NHRC took suo motu cognizance. Suo motu means on its own, without any complaint by anybody. That is suo motu. It took a decision on its own. NHRC took suo motu cognizance of reports about a study highlighting the leakage of radioactive and toxic waste from uranium mine at Jaduguda. This Jaduguda uranium mine was started in the year 1967 under Uranium Corporation of India Limited. And because of leakage, because of radioactive waste, several families are being affected. It is affecting the health of the people. Under these circumstances, NHRC took suo motu cognizance of reports about a study highlighting the leakage of radioactive and toxic waste. And this Jaduguda mine is situated in East Sengbham district of Jharkhand. Look into the next one, FCRA, Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Initially, the act belongs to 1976, subsequently revised in 2010. Foreign Contribution Regulation Act 2010 violations will be looked after by the Ministry of Home Affairs. That basically looks at contributions from foreign land and foreign hospitality. These aspects are looked after by Foreign Contribution Regulation Act of 2010 and the violations of it will be looked after by the Ministry of Home Affairs. So you can say Ministry of Home Affairs is the nodal authority for ensuring Foreign Contribution Regulation Act of 2010. Mullaperiyar Dam is the bone of contention between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. It is situated in Idukki district of Kerala, maintained by Tamil Nadu, and it is a masonry gravity dam opened in the year 1895. It is in the Cardamom Hills of Western Ghats, and Periyar National Park is situated near the reservoir, and Kerala government says the dam is unsafe. Tamil Nadu government says the dam is safe. So dispute is going on between these two states, but physically this dam is situated in state of Kerala, but the reservoir is basically serving the purpose of Tamil Nadu. Right? Look into the next one. 17 new areas for potential cooperation were identified under Defense Technology and Trade Initiative between India and United States of America. This Defense Technology and Trade Initiative was signed between two countries in 2012. It is neither a treaty nor a binding agreement, but senior leaders will cooperate so as to take the partnership to high level. And in this connection, recently our Defense Minister visited United States of America and 17 new areas for potential cooperation were identified under Defense Technology and Trade Initiative between India and United States of America. If someone says Defense Technology and Trade Initiative, this was signed in 2012 so as to have more interaction at a senior level. Look into the last one. On the eve of COP21, all of you are well aware, COP21 was held at Paris. Name the country which floated global tender for electric car that would cost less than 7,000 euro, charge faster and would use lighter materials. France is the country which floated the global tender for this electric cars which will charge faster and at the same time the cost will be less than 7,000 euro, and probably the days of fossil fuels are getting numbered in due course of time because of a lot of awareness with regard to the climate. Right friends, with this conclude the questions and answers advanced for week 51. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.